This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Welcome. We hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. It's Tuesday, September 8th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks so much for joining us.
Well, the California Army National Guard has been airlifting victims of the Creek Fire, which is burning out of control near Fresno, California's Shaver Lake area. Almost 400 people have been rescued from that area. The fire, which has burned over 144,000 acres with 0% containment as of this time, is one of the many fires that is ravaging California. Numerous animals have also been brought to safety by fire crews. The residents and holiday weekend visitors in the area have been brought to the Fresno Yosemite International Airport. Structures have been destroyed. They don't have an exact number as to how many at this time, and this includes an over 100-year-old market that was a landmark. The fire began on Friday night, and the cause is still under investigation. Well, the Pahrump community will come together this weekend to celebrate the life of Dusty Park. Dusty died suddenly August 31st at Southern Hills Hospital in Las Vegas. He was being treated for a previous health condition when he suffered a heart attack. He was only 39 years old. Dusty is well known for his work as a youth soccer coach and his efforts with the mini dwarf racing for Pahrump Valley Speedway and the kids race. Dusty's wife Amber says that she's received an outpouring of support from the community.
It was definitely a hard week while we were dealing with all that, and you know, we're getting through it. We'll get through it. I just, you know, the type of family we are, type of thing, you know, be there for each other the best we can. I have tons and tons and tons of people that have been reaching out and let me know that if there's anything I need, just let them know, which has been great. My sister has been staying with us. My oldest daughter, she's been coming over with the baby, and we're just kind of, you know, hanging out together, trying to pull strength from each other type of thing. I knew that a lot of people, you know, really loved him. I never heard anybody say anything bad about Dusty. Like, I think that kind of what was the most overwhelming in a sense was everybody showing up at the hospital and the reaction from the staff.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
That was kind of more than expected in a sense. There was nurses coming into the room, looking out the window and commenting and like, oh my gosh, like I've never seen anything like that, and how awesome it was. I had a nurse that asked if she could video some of it. We had one of the directors for the hospital, he had came up and told me like, you might want to look out the window because there's a large group out there. And I was like, yeah, I'm on the phone with my older daughter. And he was like, okay, I just wanted to make sure you didn't miss it because it's pretty amazing. And he actually came and talked to me a couple times. He went down and talked to all the people that were down there, and he came up the last time and he said, you know, for somebody you never met, you can just, like, they've all talked so wonderfully about him that you can feel how great he was, how great of a person he was. You know, he goes, it was very touching, and like he was very emotional over it because he said, I've never seen anything like this before. And he goes, and then not only that, they drove an hour to do this for him. You know, it wasn't like they were around the corner. Yeah. So that I think has been like pretty awesome to see, because I know that people were going to remember him in a very positive way. And I don't think he ever fully realized how many people's lives he touched and to what extent, because he was just real humble and he just wanted to help if he could, not for a reason. Yeah. You know, he expected nothing out of it, and he's had kids in the past couple years even that have came up and told him, like, you know, how much they appreciated what he's done for them and best coach they've ever had and things like that. And he always would kind of tear up a little bit, and, you know, he just thought it was awesome, you know, but he didn't really see it that way.
The celebration of life for Dusty Park will be held this Sunday, September 13th at 2 o'clock at Pahrump Valley Speedway. Everyone is invited. I
just actually did a public event on Facebook. Pretty much anybody that wants to come is more than welcome. We're going to have water for sure. We kind of talked about like a little potluck. So if anyone wanted to bring some food, but don't feel obligated to bring food by any means, we're just there more or less to kind of talk about him, remember him, and kind of give him a little final send-off.
A huge loss. He will be missed. Well, Dusty leaves behind Amber, the 3 daughters, ages 12, 13, and 19, and a baby granddaughter born in early August. Valley Electric Association has received notification from California that without significant energy conservation measures, anticipated demand will exceed available supply between 4 and 9 p.m. The situation is changing hour by hour, and Valley Electric is closely monitoring that situation. Rolling blackouts are possible in the VAA service area, which includes Pahrump, Amargosa Valley, and Beatty.
All right, and coming up, we'll tell you how you might be able to save money even in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic if you have air travel plans during this upcoming holiday season. That and more financial news that could affect you and your bottom line when we return.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, Macy's sees an uptick in sales and has beat earnings expectations. H&R Block gets a big boost from the delayed tax filing deadline due to COVID-19, and a growing number of airlines are waiving change fees. Angela Miles has all that and more in your financial news.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Macy's is having a moment. The department store chain exceeded earnings expectations with a 53% boost coming from online sales. Macy's customers have been stocking up on jewelry, makeup, sneakers, and mattresses. The CEO, Jeff Janetta, has his eyes on the luxury market as Macy's next move. Janetta predicts wealthy customers will reward themselves with high-end items since the ability to travel is being curtailed by the COVID crisis. H&R Block benefited from the 3-month delay of the tax filing season. The tax preparation firm reports a quarterly profit that was above expectations. Delta, American, and Alaska are among the airlines joining United by dropping flight change fees. The industry last year took in $2.8 billion
To find out
for
where you
added
can
fees.
see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
Thanks so much, Angela. Well, this week, Nye County, partnered with Serenity Health, is offering even more drive-up COVID-19 testing opportunities. Monday, 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. in the Calvada I, Wednesday and Friday, 7 a.m. until 9 a.m., and Tuesday from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m., and Thursday, 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. in the Walmart parking lot. Be sure to bring your ID and insurance card if you have insurance, but if you don't have insurance, you may still receive a test. And the Nevada Division of Child and Family Services is working to support children and families in a variety of ways. And they are stating that child incidents and reports of domestic abuse are down. But one of the spokespersons for that department says that it's still important for you to say something if you see something.
Since the COVID-19 pandemic has happened, we've seen a pretty dramatic drop in our phone calls regarding abuse and neglect for youth. And really, the data shows that really hitting us starting March. We tend to get a lot of our referrals through mandatory reporters. So that includes our school districts, that includes law enforcement, childcare agencies. And so with the pandemic and schools essentially reverting to an in-home setting through essentially, telecommunication or teleschooling, we've seen a substantial drop in phone calls and referrals statewide. So since March, we've seen about a consistent decline of 20% month over month from last year to this year in those phone calls. And again, the biggest impact of that has been through our school districts. Signs of potential abuse or neglect is typically if you're looking at a youth that suddenly becomes fearful, if their parent or if a family member or anyone that they see on a regular basis and they suddenly become fearful, perhaps a little more fidgety or more anxious, perhaps even, becoming just very flustered or angry. That seems like it's kind of come out of nowhere, to pay attention to those signs and, are they fearful of a particular person that's walking their way? So it's keeping an eye on sort of those indicators and those behaviors as to how they're responding to people that are around them. And then for neglect, that's looking at, are they having poor hygiene? Are they wearing the same type of clothing day in, day out, where it may be the same outfit? Are you seeing instances where the clothing is, torn and tattered? Again, kids play hard, you tear through clothes, but, is it consistent? Where you're seeing those types of things. And again, sort of that fearful, perspective of a youth. Do they look malnourished? Are they looking thinner than usual? More pale, things along those lines. So you're looking for those symptoms of, are their basic needs being met? Any person can report suspicions of abuse or neglect. We have an 800 number or a toll-free number. So that is 1-833-803-1183. And anyone can call in that phone number and provide us information. We're at a point of, if you see it, say something. We're really looking at that opportunity because we are missing some of our biggest groups right now is, to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of those interactions and what those responses are, and to, help us in addressing those needs and calling it into us and letting us determine, is this, informational, was it situational, or is there a history that's happening that, we need to be looking at? We're more than happy to field those questions and those calls to make sure that, we're protecting our youth.
And for more information about Child and Family Services, you can go online to dcfs.nv.gov. And News 25 will be back with more local news after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, some men delay going to the doctor until it's absolutely necessary, and sometimes that may be too late. Meet a young father who acted fast when cancer symptoms appeared, and it likely saved his life. Erica Foreman has more.
At 36 years old, the last thing on Ben Simcox's mind was colorectal cancer, so he didn't think much of a little blood during a bowel movement.
I just thought it was like a hemorrhoid, or I thought it was something really small.
But a colonoscopy told a different story.
They revealed that he had a rectal cancer, that cancer was located low down in his gastrointestinal tract.
Ben is not alone. He's part of a concerning trend doctors are seeing around the world.
Younger patients are getting diagnosed with colorectal cancer, specifically left-sided or rectal cancers, at a very young age, more than we've seen in the past.
Screening for colorectal cancer typically begins at age 50, so it's important to recognize warning signs like bleeding, abdominal pain, or change in bowel habits and get them checked.
The fact that Ben went to see someone was so important, and without that we never would have found it, and this tumor of course would have progressed and maybe not been operable if we found too late.
Ben had radiation, surgery, and chemotherapy. He's now cancer-free because he acted fast and encourages others to do the same.
Just definitely don't ignore. I mean, I know it's embarrassing and stuff, but it costs you your life.
At Cleveland Clinic, I'm Erica Foreman.
Thanks, Erica. Well, family history plays an important role in colorectal cancer risk, so be sure to have an honest discussion with your family about colorectal cancer and polyps. And don't delay being checked because of COVID-19 fears. Doctors' offices are taking extra precautions to keep patients safe. Well, Serapis International of Pahrump Valley is once again offering the Live Your Dream Scholarship Program to women in Pahrump who qualify. If you're a woman with primarily financial responsibility for yourself and your dependents and are attending an undergraduate degree program or vocational skills training program and have financial needs, this program is for you. For more information, call 775-910-9521. Well, it's time to meet another great pet available for adoption from Desert Haven Animal Society. Today's pet, we meet Venus.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
This is Venus. Venus is a 10-year-old German Shepherd. She's been spayed and has the usual German Shepherd black and tan coloring. Venus was dropped off at Desert Haven when her owner had to be hospitalized. After a 5-day hold for safekeeping, her owner decided to surrender her. Venus is housebroken but is an outside-only dog. She is leash-trained and somewhat good off the leash. She's okay being left alone, even if she's not happy about it. She has good eating habits and she likes riding in the car. If you'd like to meet Venus or any of her friends at Desert Haven Animal Society, you can stop by the shelter located on Seary Lane right behind the Nye County Courthouse. You'll just need to call ahead to make an appointment. That number, 775-751-7020. You can learn more about the shelter and see other pets available for adoption by visiting the shelter's Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. You may wonder where all the smoke is coming from. Well, we get a little break from the temperatures, but the fires are amazingly around us. And actually, what you're seeing behind me is the Creek Lake Fire. Big fire, 146,000 acres, and it's just going like crazy. Also contributing, we got a little desert fire here from Slink, the Slink fire. This one's a little more contained. Things are shaping up. I mean, they'll head in the right direction, but it's going to be smoky for the next couple of days, coupled with the wind, and it's dangerous fire conditions. So we'll be talking about that and all the weather when we return.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Good evening, Nevada, from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. I'm John Kohler with your weather update, and it is, it's cooling off. We told you it would be cooling off. By golly, it cooled off. Trading a little bit for the wind and some fire danger, a little bit of smoke that we're talking about, but basically staying pretty friendly up in Fernley. It's 72 degrees for high today, 42 for a low. In Fallon, 73 versus your high today. 39 will be your low tonight as we approach morning. Carson City looking good at 71 degrees, 39 degrees for a low tonight, and that's almost cold enough to freeze a popsicle out on your back porch, isn't it? Tonopah, you're looking at 69 degrees for your high today, and 38 will be your low tonight. That's feeling pleasant. Tonopah, love that. Hey, out in Goldfield, 71 degrees for a high, 39 for a low as we drift south. It heats up a little bit, but not too much. Everything's off about 30 degrees from yesterday. That's feeling like darn right good weather in Beatty. It's 82 degrees, 53 for a low tonight. Out in Amargosa, well, it's tumbleweed weather. Lots of wind, lots of sunshine still, but 84 degrees was your high today, and that's where it'll top out. 56 will be your low tonight. Las Vegas, getting a pleasant respite at 83 degrees for high today, 65 for low tonight. And out in Death Valley, you finally missed triple digits. 98 degrees was your high today. 68 degrees will be your low tonight. And let's take a look at the local weather, shall we? 79 degrees there. I love it. A high of just 80 degrees today in Pahrump, and that's seemingly, but the thing we noticed was the wind, and the wind is crazy. 25 mile an hour winds up here. It's enough to be drifting out. Well, you would think it would help with the smoke, but it seems to be pouring the smoke in. Also, you got to watch out on the roads with those higher winds. You get some sandstorms that just kind of appear out of nowhere, and they'll block your view. Watch that on the highways. 90% humidity is fairly dry. Sunrise this morning at 6:21 a.m. and there was stuff all in my pool. That's also residual from the wind. 79 degrees currently, as I say. Low tonight will be about 57 degrees. I might have to break out a sweatshirt. I don't know if I have any. I think we moved here and I gave away all my sweatshirts. North-northeast winds continue this evening, 17 miles an hour. And humidity picking up a little bit, 16% tonight. As the sun sets at 7 p.m., we're losing about 5 more minutes of daylight, and I will miss those 5 minutes. Let's take a look at the week as we extend into the rest of our wonderful next 7 days. 83 degrees will be the high tomorrow, 87 Wednesday, 93 Thursday, Friday. Yeah, it's picking up. It'll be picking up 15 degrees as we head on into Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And the wind's going to be sticking with us for the next couple days. The lows tonight, 57, 62, 64, 68, 71. 71 seems pretty good. It's the smoke, I think, that's really bothering. A lot of people are wondering where that smoke is coming from. Well, it's coming from a number of directions. As you can see, this is a map of the entire United States. And you see all these little red spots here? These are all fires that are happening all around us, all around us, all around us. This is the Creek Fire, and of course, that's a pretty big complex. Zero containment on this, 146,000 acres going up right now. They evacuated 300 people, got them in planes, got out. That was it. Also contributing the Slink Fire. And Slink Fire, well, it's a smaller fire. They're getting a little more containment to it. It's about 36% contained as of this afternoon, but it's like 22,000 acres have gone up in smoke. Real nearest, and all that smoke is making it difficult for people to breathe and see across the valley, and things that I like to do, breathe and see. How about that? Well, that's your weather report, and it's pleasant to see you. I hope you have a great evening. From the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, I'm John Kohler.
Thanks so much, John.
Thanks, John. All right, and the Rotary Cash Extravaganza is coming up soon. It is in October, and you will have a chance to win $10,000. That's a lot of cash. And you'll have a 1 in 400 chance to win because the Rotary is selling 400 tickets. Each ticket is $75, and you can buy your ticket from any Rotarian. Those proceeds will go to help support community projects that the Rotary puts on throughout the year, such as building wheelchair ramps and other service projects. So, $75 and a chance to win $10,000? Good luck! And that cash extravaganza will also be giving away different prizes, so be sure to purchase and be sure to help out any way you can.
All right, that's going to be fun. They're doing a virtual event this year.
Yes, it is.
So at least they're still raising some funds.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. And from all of us here at KPVM, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next newscast.
Good night.
Good night.